Soft Power by Ryan Egan. 9 songs, 31 minutes long, and we reviewed Weeknights as a single
Yep.
last year. Just as like a submission, and we're really interested in how it's like had an kind of an indie thing, but it's hard to kind of say it's indie in the sense of like Wet Leg, which we just reviewed, which is in that like style and form of guitar and like kind of grunginess
I
sounds.
mean, that's the nice thing with indie. Indie is very broad. It encompasses a lot, and I think that's the issue with a lot of indie sound is they've been trying to confine into one space, but there's so much more. Like this is another style of indie.
Yeah, it's alternative. It has disco kind of influences, but even not every song does, which I really much like. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, overall, you get a lot of really nice. I wouldn't even call this bedroom pop indie, but it's fits that kind of vibe and like tone. It's nothing's like really kind of like louder, grungier in your face. Everything's kind of like soft, like
Yeah.
good songs in that way. You start off with Loner, which is well, go ahead if you want to go into it.
Yeah. Loner is a good track to get you kind of into the record where it's that like I want I almost want to call it like I want to make a new genre or a new sound that we have that I do like. It's like funk indie or like disco indie or something like that. Because with Loner, it gets you into the idea of like the album title "Soft Power" is a great title because that's what it sounds like. Literally, is like soft power. That's what it's just.
Yeah,
It's a
that's what
chill
I'm.
throwback. Like the mood lighting is all blue, everything looks blue and purple and shit, and you're kind of just like chilling, moving, moseying around wherever you are, whatnot, or you're chilling, sitting on the couch, sipping in June or something, whatever. It's like that mood. You're very introspective, you're thinking a lot. But Soft Power with that track, it's that indie funk where it gets you, it has so many different sounds, so many different ideas where it reminds me a bit of the Avalanches, where you kind of get a lot of different ideas, but it's not necessarily one specific genre in that regard. But it's just Ryan, it's Ryan Egan doing it, and not like actually supplementing from different tracks, and putting them together in that way. But anyways, with this record, I enjoyed it a lot. I think the with Weeknights when we got that single, I was like, okay, what are we gonna get? Is it gonna be just full groove or whatnot, which I didn't necessarily want for a full project, and it's definitely not. There's a lot of different sounds, a lot of different ideas with it. Towards the middle of the album, full time alone. Or sorry, towards the more beginning, getting transitioning to the middle of the album, full time alone for the last time. It slows down a little bit. And you get these really nice guitars and stuff that remind me a bit of early Tori and Juan the way. You listen to that, which it's like it's a mix of the Avalanches, Tori Amos, and Neon Indian, because the vocals he does are similar to Alan Palermo of Neon Indian, where some of them are really scaled back, but you could barely hear it, and it has this nice little filter in it. But it sets it well because it sets the mood for it. Because sometimes I don't necessarily like that with artists or like that with groups or bands if they do that, because they can get a little underwhelming at times. But this, I really like how it is. Weeknights, the single that we did get late last year, I'd like to say. I really like it. It's one of my favorite indie tracks I've heard in a while. It suits the album a lot because it kind of picks it up in the way, but it still keeps the theme right. It doesn't make it, it doesn't necessarily stand out too much on its own, but it's placed perfectly where it kind of transitions you towards that latter half of the record too. Um,
Yeah, it gets you into a think like it's a nice like I guess like I'm so bad for getting my words right now, but it's a nice not climax, but like top of the hill, so to speak, for the album.
yeah, yeah,
Because it doesn't necessarily go downhill in like quality from there. Definitely not. But it starts to land in vibe and tone. Actually, one of my favorite songs ends up being "Don't Say You Never Loved Me," which I would have felt was like a good almost second to last track rather than a third to last track. Because I feel like it almost slows it down too much of the album. But the song itself is this really
fantastic sound.
nice, like slow ballad that you can tell the energy in what he's singing, but also the energy in what the production sounds like and how the
Yeah,
instruments come together. So it's very, very good there.
very much agreed. Yeah, I'm impressed with the record. I like it a lot. It's a sound that I would like to be more, to have more on indie, to have it more out there of experimenting with slower stuff, with more of that, jazz, like jazz inspired, where you slow it down. It's that mood of I like to say the mood lighting is the only way I could really phrase it, is everything's blue or purple and whatnot in that way. You have a little bit of funky bass lines and stuff, and I like it a lot. But within indie, again, these are the two records that we've had today give me hope for indie this year. It gives me like, oh wow, we've actually been getting a lot of good stuff. It's not all monotone and the same, which is great. And this is a fantastic slow record, which I like a lot. So for the right mood, put this record on. It's good.
Absolutely. Can highly recommend Ryan Egan's record.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. I think actually, I think a lot of people will enjoy this. They just need to get the word out.
yeah. Arbitrary scale. We're comparing albums to years at Coachella because if we gave it an actual ranking that you could compare to other albums, what we said in the review wouldn't make sense. So this week it's going to be years at Coachella. So the better the year at Coachella, the better the album is. And I'm going to give this. What would you give it?
That's a good question.
I'm at 2002.
Euro 2? Well,
Yeah.
2 is a good one. Björk, Oasis, Chemical Brothers using the Banshees, Peter Bjorn.
The Strokes, Tiesto, Mos Def.
Oh, damn. Back when Mos Def was performing. Fuck. That's
Queens
a
of the
good one.
Stone Age.
More on that later. I was going to give this 05. I was going to 05 Coachella because you have Weezer before they like really sucked. You had Coldplay before they sold out. So those are two like, ooh, man, I'd love to see them. You got M83 when he's like barely kind of getting up there. You have
The
New
Prodigy
Order,
in the Tent.
Prodigy in the Tent. Arcade Fire when they're like, just popping up too. So you have like, that's a good for up and coming, and then good last hurrahs for Weezer and Coldplay before they started sucking.
Diplo's second to last line. Caspian second to last line.
Damn. Again, like these are, oh my god, you have MF Doom on 05.
I don't
Holy
believe
shit.
I don't believe he was there.
I would be shocked if that was actually Doom. It was definitely Doom imposter. If Doom performed as a Doom imposter, there's no way Doom actually was there. Also, he had Fortet as well.
Yeah.
That's a good lineup.
Apparently, there's video of it, but I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. I don't know. Doom truthers.
Anyways, yeah.
We're Doom truthers. We are Doom truthers for life. So
Doom is somewhere in Trinidad and Tobago right now, chilling.
wearing his New York Islanders jersey as we go to war because we hate each other.